Okay, just thought I'd give you a quick tour of my new studio, which I've spent the last week in my spare time trying to redecorate and reorganise. I've given it a new lick of paint with this Dulux. It's called Lumitec paint, which is a light reflective paint, so it makes the whole space brighter. It's a north-facing light studio. I've got two windows, so they're quite deep windows, but with the north light, you know, it's sort of on an overcast afternoon like today, it can feel a little bit darker. So I thought the Lumitec paint would help with that, and it certainly has. And I've put up some railings to hold some of my pochade plein air studies, just so that I can reflect on them when I've got them back in the studio. And just generally giving everything a revamp and a reorganise. So it's much better now, and I'm looking forward to doing a bit of work in here, especially over the the winter months when the weather's not so good. But I'll just take you over here, and over here you can see a colour chart that I've worked up from Richard Schmidt's Alla Prima book, and it took a long time. I think I was doing it in the evenings after work, and it took about a couple of weeks essentially, but it's really good exercise, and helps me to understand colour a bit better, and the sort of mixes that you can get. As you can see, I've put up some new shelving, which is really useful. I've got a notice board there that I can pin stuff onto. I've got my PC, very important because it streams music from the internet. I tend to use things like Spotify, Last.fm to play my favourite tunes whilst I'm working away, and also, you know, it's handy for displaying images on screen if I need some reference material to work with, because printouts don't tend to do them justice. The light and the colour tends to be much truer to the original, you know, on the screen. But saying that, I'd rather use my plein air studies as the primary source of reference, but you know, for backup material, it's there. I've got a mobile table there which I keep my palette and brushes on, and I can drag that out and work next to the easel and keep my oil paintings in another mobile unit. Plenty of drawer space. Comfy chair which needs replacing, but it's pretty important to be comfortable. There you have a stacking unit for canvases, wet or dry, that my dad built. It's really handy. And another little unit there that I can keep rags and bottles of solvents and things in, so very useful. And more storage space in the shelves. I've got my acrylic paints in those little baskets, and there you can see a few of my more recent pochades, a couple of the snow scenes I've been working on over the last month or so, and a few others that I worked up in the summer. And well, I like to swap them around, to be honest, and it would be nice to have that facility. There you can see my daylight lamp, which is very useful in the evenings. Let me just try and zoom out from that. There we go. You can see it's quite tall, and you can adjust the height, and it does produce a frequency of light which is balanced to north light, so that matches the windows. Studio easel there, which is a radial easel, pretty basic, but pretty much does the job. And some useful table space for keeping things on whilst I'm working away. And over this side you can see more new shelving, and a mirror. I've got a mobile mirror there which I use for doing self-portraits, and you know, if I want to look at paintings in reverse, it's useful as well. It's essentially a mirror which I've bolted to a hat stand because I couldn't find a decent floor standing mirror, so I went to Age Concern, got a mirror, got a cheap hat stand second hand, and bolted them on. It does the job. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but there's a little watercolour study I did there of Sun and Cove. Just get rid of those reflections. That was done a few years ago. But I like the colours and the light. And then in this little alcove here, I've got, let me just try and zoom. In this little alcove I've got my French easel, plenty of pochard studies stacked up there, which I can swap round and take out, and I keep some of my canvases on a new shelf which I've put up. So there you go, that's the studio. Hope you like the tour. I'm looking forward to working in it.